Hey you! If you're enjoying Skyline REM and want to help make it happen, you can apply to join our backstage team in the description of this video. If you don't have the time or means, don't sweat it. Subscribe, leave a like, and enjoy the video instead.
Junk, 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 Kylan, junk. Oh, Rex. Letter for you.
Ooh! Look at the fancy wax seal!
Wait, wax seal? That means it's actually important. What would an important person want with you? This is
An invitation? To the castle?!
Just fake it. I only know how to pull myself apart. I never thought I'd go this far, but I pulled the spark. It's over now. Run away, out of time. Find a place where I can never hide. I let it run, change, or even try. Let it burn, I'll never be coming back. 'Cause I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I'm hoping somebody will say losing my mind. Cause I'm losing my mind.
You and Alice both stare at the letter in shock and awe. Slowly, Alice lifts her head to stare at you. You've got some explaining to do. What's that supposed to mean? You had to have done something to get an invite to the castle, Rex! She motions to the letter. Royals don't just randomly call upon normal people for a little visit. She leans forward, grabbing you by the collar. You haven't been doing some high-end jobs and holding out on me, right? No? At least, I don't think so. She narrows her eyes, but accepts your answer, slowly letting go of you. You sigh, brushing yourself off. I mean, they probably just heard about me from the paper, you argue. Feels like a ton of people have started to recognize me at this point. Alice massages the bridge of her nose. Yeah, unfortunately. I thought you liked all the jobs I've been getting, Alice. Yeah, the jobs, she nods. Can't say I'm a fan of the attention. She shakes her head and crosses her arms. But it's whatever. It's not like we can do anything about that at this point. Especially not that now that you've caught the attention of some real bigwigs. Do you think this is about what the High Priestess said a while back? How should I know? She retorts. I stopped keeping track of your adventures a long time ago. I have no idea what you do in your free time anymore, considering last week's mining excursion. Hey, that one caught me off guard too, you frown. Most of the time those big jobs just come out of nowhere. You pause, considering Alice's statement once more, before looking back down at the letter. I mean, if you're so interested in being in the loop, then why don't you tag along today? What? She raises an eyebrow at you. Letter said I could bring a friend. You wave the letter in front of her. Do you want to come to the castle with that? No, she answers immediately. No! How many times do I have to remind you, Rex, that I have a problem with authority? She glares at you. I'm not going within 30 feet of that castle. No way. But, no buts! You can't make me. She turns around stubbornly and puts her hands on her hips. I'd rather try my luck in the wilderness than play nice with a bunch of haughty nobles. Alright. You made your point. You gather together your things. I'll just go by myself. I can fill you in when I get back, okay? Don't do anything stupid, moron, she instructs as she walks over to her desk, waving you away. And don't even think about mentioning me either. As far as the castle's concerned, I don't exist. Weird request, but sure. See it. Wait. She stops you again as she makes a sudden realization. You're seriously going to the castle dressed like that? Like what? You ask, looking down at yourself. Like you! But like everyday you, she says. This is a literal palace we're talking about. Are you trying to embarrass us in front of nobility? Why do you care about the opinion of— That's not the point, idiot! She quickly brushes aside your counter-argument. Don't you have any nicer clothes? No. These are the only ones I have. You didn't think to buy fancier clothes? Why do you buy fancier clothes? You don't give me enough money to buy much of anything. Alright. She shakes her head. Fine, then. It'll have to work. If you're lucky, they won't mind the pirate look. She pauses. Don't you dare mention pirates either, Rex. Okay, I won't. I gotta go, Ellis. Bye. Dang. Okay. Whew. Hey, chat. How are you guys doing? Hello, everyone. Hi. I hope you're all doing great right now. We're back! Oh, boy. The castle, huh? Let's just put that down on a... Let's mark that down as another place I haven't been to yet. But I guess I'm going to now. To see a whole nother corner of this city. Well, here we go, I guess. Where is even the castle? Is the question. Well, we'll find out, I guess. We can make some educated guesses at the very least. Okay, well, we're just gonna make our way over to Lavender Terrace. I'm just gonna remember how to do that. If we follow the main road, we'll get there. Eventually. I'm sure. Are you guys excited? I'm kind of excited. What do you think the castle will look like? Do you think it's gonna be as impressive as the, cathedral? Oh man, the cathedral. That place is huge. I think you could fit like 13 of these buildings inside of it comfortably. Here we go. Back here. Haven't been here in a second. Oh, I'll never get over how gorgeous it is. Man, and I thought that building was huge. It does not look so big anymore. Okay, well, it still looks enormous. But that cathedral is somehow bigger. Oh, have we gone this way yet? I don't think we've ever walked this far this way. Which is pretty cool. What's that? It's got a cool looking door. Huh. What's that? It's like wooden and oh, is that like an arena or something? Oh, yo, that's cool. That's very cool. Oh, no, that's a gate. You thought that was a gate? No, that's a gate. That is big. Okay. Oh, there's a river over here. Oh, I bet that feeds into the canals down there. Wow, that water comes from a long distance. They put in the work. Whoa, lots of people. Excuse me. Pardon me. Alright. Gate. Hello, guards! Now, you guys look fancy. You approach the gates of the castle, gawking at the majesty of the giant walls which loom over you. The metal spiked gates have been raised, and various castle staff and visiting merchants pour in and out of the entryway. A couple of royal guards stand before the gates. Their eyes follow the different people who come and go before stomping on you. Halt! They quickly intercept your path, holding up sharp lances at attention. State your business in Hydra's castle. Hydra's castle? Man, that name is sick! The guards don't respond. They just stare at you, unimpressed. I mean, you hold up the letter, offering it to the two guards. I was invited here, actually. Here's the letter I got. As you can see, it's real? You awkwardly grin at them as they take the letter. They glance at one another to confirm that what they're seeing before addressing you again. So you're the fixer of Arrowwood. Yep, that's me! They hand you the letter again. Our apologies. We didn't recognize you. We've been informed of your arrival. They step to the side and motion past the gates. You are expected within the castle itself. Follow this path forward and take the first right you see. A staff member in the atrium will point you in the right direction from there. Oh, cool. Thanks. Oh, tall. Big fountain. Water. Flowers. Wagon. Crates. People. Many crate. Dang! What is this place? I've never been in a castle before. Wait, how are you supposed to behave in a castle? I have no idea. This is pretty. Hey, look at that. They're like reeds. Is that a flower? Oh, this is wicked. Horsey! Hi! Can I pet you? Are you gonna kick me if I try? I will hold my better judgment. I am not looking to get trampled today. So many buildings, too. Oh, it's another cute little Ooh, bench! It's a nice looking bench. Look how cool this place is. Yo! Target practice! Yo, Lily would love that. And she kind of killed it with that bow. There's so many things over there, too. That's big. Whoa. That is enormous. I'm speechless. A purple tree! A waterfall! What is this place? That is big. I go in? Why is the door that big? Are there people that large? Alright. Hello? Is there like a doorknob that I turn? Oh! Whoa. Oh, whoa. You step into the atrium, and you gawk at the grand and regal decor. You spin in a circle, craning your neck to stare up at the ceiling and the high walls. Whoa! This place is so crazy! You exclaim out loud. Your voice echoes through the busy halls. And you notice a couple of staff members and visitors glancing in your direction. Huh! Sorry! Can I help you with something, sir? A staff member asks as she approaches you. She's dressed professionally in black and white with an ironed apron over her skirt. Her dark brown hair is pinned up in a bun behind her. Are you lost, perhaps? Yeah, I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to be going. You offer the woman your letter. I got an invitation this morning, and the guards at the front said that someone in here could help me. I see, the woman murmurs as she glances over your letter. Her eyes widen. Of course. I don't know why I didn't realize it sooner. We've actually been expecting you, Rex. Welcome to Hydra's Castle. Well, expecting me? Just how deep does this whole invitation letter go? Everyone else should already be prepared for your arrival. They're waiting for you upstairs in the meeting room, just above the atrium. If you go down that hallway there and up the spiral staircase, you'll reach your destination. Your head spins as you try to remember her directions. I think I got it. If you have any trouble, just let a staff member know so that we may assist you. She bows respectfully. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah. Thanks, you too. Big. Okay, this isn't the way. Whoa. Oh, there's like a balcony up there. Oh, this place is fountains. Bigger fountain. Alright. Well, here we go, I guess. Oh, wow. You continue to gaze at the walls in interest, scanning over the details in the pillars and paintings that line the halls. Your eyes linger on a particular vase, presumably made out of some expensive ceramics and painted with real gold by the looks of it. You wonder how much something like that would cost. How much does it cost to even stand in this castle? Part of you feels out of place. Everything here is so tidy and clean, and you're just a normal guy. Seriously, what are you doing here? You're snapped out of your thoughts as a shrill and mortified voice sounds behind you. You whip around to find Vincent staring at you with wide eyes. What, Vincent? You exclaim. How did you get in the castle? He interrogates you, taking a step forward. Let me guess, you snuck in like the delinquent you are! I was invited. Thank you very much. Besides, I could ask you the same thing. You point at him accusatorily. What's a snobby guy like you doing in here? I live here. He hisses past grit's teeth. Wait, what? The puzzle pieces start to fall into place as you stare at him, your shoulders sagging. Are you seriously still denying that I'm a prince? He scoffs. But I thought you were just bluffing. You attempt to explain yourself, putting your hand on your forehead in disbelief. His face turns red in anger. Well, maybe if you decided to step out of everyone's spotlight for a single second, you would have figured that out by now. Now answer my question, he demands. I'm not just about to let you invade my home without an explanation. What did you mean when you said you were invited? You shake your head and snap back into reality. You withdraw your letter from your pocket for a third time. Read it and weep, sucker! I got the official go-ahead from someone super important. Vincent snatches the letter from you, crumpling the paper in his hands as he quickly reads over the letter for himself. You notice his jaw tighten and his grip shudder. This That's right! My own personal ticket into the official seal of the Star Seekers! Vincent snaps. That's impossible! What would the Star Seekers want with a miscreant like you? You grin at him. The fixer of heroin? The solution to the awakening? Yeah, I know. I was going to say worthless plebeian. Hey! He shoves the letter back into your chest, massaging his temples and pacing back and forth. This can't keep happening. First the farm festival, and now this? Ugh! He stops in his tracks, glaring back at you. You're like a cockroach! You keep coming back no matter how many times I try to get rid of you! I guess you just can't keep up with me. You! Now, if you'll excuse me, you smile at him, putting your letter back into your pocket. I don't want to leave all those important people waiting on me, so I'll just, go this way now. He watches you go with an absolutely bewildered expression. I see you grinning, you rat! So wipe that smirk off your face or else! Chose him. Where am I going? I think this way. We're gonna hope this way. Yeah, this way. Hello, Rex. It's nice to finally meet you again. Formally, that is. Whoa. You stare at the humble meeting hall in shock, blinking at the various unfamiliar individuals that dot the different lounge chairs. Your mouth rests agape as you stare up at Arden on the balcony. He chuckles. Well, I suppose that expression says it all, doesn't it? Well, I knew you were just some random fan! That's what he told you? The young man with black hair snickers, leaning over the top of Ambrosia's chair. I guess it's not technically wrong. I'm sorry for misleading you, Arden continues as he walks down the staircase to stand before you. However, I wanted to meet with you as a proper equal, and not someone you felt you had to respect or act differently around. Therefore, I had to withhold some information. Who are you? Really? Like, who are... All of you guys. My name is Arden Damaris, he states, and we are Nox Requitor. Wait, Nox what now? You ask. Arden pauses, glancing at Ambrosia in confusion. I thought you told him about us. I did. However, I gave him our informal name, Ambrosia clarifies. Ah, in that case, Rex, you would know us as the Star Seekers, although our official title as the King's Council is Nox Requitor. Wait, so all of you guys are the Star Seekers? Precisely, Ambrosia nods. I'll spare you the introductions. We're quite familiar with one another already. Silver-eyed dread, huh? A dark-haired man snickers. You look awesome! Oh, you want to introduce me, Amby? You can introduce yourself, she sighs. Oh, come on! I need someone else to hype me up! It's far too early for dramatics. Another familiar face in the room grumbles. You glance at her in surprise. Besides, as far as I'm aware, the fixer is easy to please. I'm sure you don't need to try so hard, Zion. Wait, hang on. You're Freya, right? You're a Star Seeker too! She nods her head simply. Yes. Well, why didn't you mention it before? You ask her. I didn't think it was important. She shrugs her shoulders simply. Well, it seems pretty important to me! Sorry to interrupt, sir. An older man clears his throat as he approaches you with a silver platter in his hand. Upon the silver platter are a number of delicate teacups, each filled at the exact same level. Would you like a cup of tea, perhaps? We also have a variety of sandwiches or cakes if you're interested. I'm good, I think. You're missing out, the young man with golden hair comments. Bastion makes some of the best tea. He politely stands up and approaches you. He reaches forward and firmly shakes your hand. It's a pleasure to officially make your acquaintance, Rex. My name's Alexander. He smiles. I've heard quite a bit about you. In fact, my little brother has hardly stopped raving about you since the farm festival. Your brother? Wait a second! You shake your head, waving your hands around quickly. I'm so overwhelmed right now. Can we just start at the beginning? Arden pauses, nodding his head. Of course. Let's not crowd him, everyone. Boo! Zion frowns. Come on, Arden. I wanted to get to know the guy a little. There'll be plenty of time for pleasantries later, Arden reassures his comrade. For now, I think Rex has earned a chance to ask his questions without interruption. So, the reason why you had all that cool magic was because you're a star seeker? Among other reasons, Arden smiles, motioning to himself. Much like you, I have been blessed by a greater deity. For this reason, I am known as the Valorant of Unity. Whoa. You blink. I have no idea what that means. I am as much a product of Unity's will as you travelers are, he explains. For long ago, I too counteracted death itself. Whoa, seriously? Ambrosia steps forward to stand at Arden's side. When you told me about your run-in with the Kraken and how you awoke after death, I knew I had to tell Arden about you. There were far too many similarities to be a coincidence, which furthered our hypothesis that your arrival in REM was an act of Unity. However, we needed the High Priestess herself to verify this. Only those whose afterlights have been blessed by the goddess have the power to reform and awaken after a lethal blow, Arden states. Afterlights? What does that mean? An afterlight is the essence of a person's truest identity, Arden says. In the teachings of Unity, afterlights are the stars that glitter in the night sky. And with each prosperous lifetime, they shine brighter and brighter. When someone eventually meets their end, their soul returns to their afterlight, and they are reborn anew with a different form and a different name. Kind of like reincarnation, you ask. An acute observation. Essentially, yes, Arden confirms. So, what do these afterlights have to do with us reviving after death? Unity acts as the protector of the afterlights, guarding over them in the night sky. With her blessing alone, an afterlight becomes capable of drawing upon the energy of its past lives to sustain the current one, allowing people, like us, to return to life, Arden states. So that's how you knew I had to come from Unity somehow, you finish his thought. Precisely, he nods. Having a blessed afterlight's practically unheard of, Alexander chimes in. Until Arden came along, no one believed it was possible anymore. But then, you travelers entered the picture as well. Arden smiles at you. I think I get it. Is that why you called me here then? Not entirely, Arden says. Before I explain further, I know that you're probably tired of the constant trials and tribulations. I can only imagine how frustrating it must have been for you. Opening Lunar Isle, traversing the corrupted mines, battling the stone golem in those ancient ruins. Yeah, not to mention that Oz monster had to fight, you murmur before pausing. What was up with that, by the way? Oh, right. Freya sighs, raising her hand. That was mine, actually. Wait, that was what now? I created that creature with my magic, she states nonchalantly, waving her hand through the air to create a small amount of snow on the table. The snow shifts and shapes before morphing into a small ice golem, the same creature you encountered in Lavender Terrace. You did what? Arden pauses, looking back at her. You never told any of us about this, Ambrosia states. Freya shrugs. I needed to see if it was worthwhile to help them. It's not a big deal, you can drop it.
What, drop it! You made us fight that thing!
Anyways, Arden shakes his head dismissively. Previous encounters aside, I'm afraid I must task you with one more test, Rex. That's fine. What is it? You ask him. I can go into the details later, he says. It won't be easy, so you should make sure you're well prepared. Are you thinking easier or harder than those mines the other day? I won't spoil the surprise. That's not ominous at all. Freya raises an eyebrow in Arden's direction. Allow me to elaborate, Ambrosia intrudes. This task we have for you is deeply connected to the awakening. We don't have a good gauge of just how difficult it will be at this moment in time. However, it's in your best interest to prepare yourself while we gather together what little information we do have. Oh, alright then. There's a storehouse outside in the western courtyard, near the barracks, Arden explains. You should find plenty of extra materials in there. Once you've gathered what you need, you can come and find me in the eastern garden. Arden glances at the other Starseekers. Rest of you are free to go. I do apologize for dragging you out here for such a short meeting. I wanted to ensure that Rex became acquainted with all of us before his quest. It was my pleasure, Arden. Alexander stands up and bows to Arden respectfully. I had to talk to some of the castle merchants near the entrance anyways, Freya yawns. So, I just get the goods and then come find you for my... Wait, did you say quest? Indeed. He nods as the various Starseekers begin to leave and disperse. Is there anything wrong with that? Nope! Nothing at all! Alright then. In that case, I look forward to seeing you again in the garden soon, Rex. Arden walks out of the room, his deep blue cape flowing behind him. Whoa. Freaking cool. Alright, gotta head back down now, I guess. What? You exit the room with a huge grin on your face. You just had a meeting with the Starseekers, the King's Council! How crazy is that? You can hardly stand still for even a second, giddy with excitement. They even gave you your first official quest. Your heart is beating out of your chest and your mind is racing. You can barely focus. Where was that exit again? Not so fast, a voice sounds from behind you. Your excitement slowly melts away as you recognize that tone. You glance back to see Vincent standing behind you with a glare. What are you still doing here, man? I can go wherever I like in this castle, he huffs. And I'm not going anywhere until you tell me what exactly you were doing in that room and what the Starseekers could have possibly wanted with you. You're still on that, huh? It doesn't make any sense, he glowers at you. So just spit it out and talk already. Why were you in there? What did they tell you? You snicker. Nothing much. Just give me a super awesome quest, that's all. What? He exclaims. A quest? You? But that's not possible! He shakes his head in disbelief. You bet it's possible, because that's what just happened! They couldn't have given you a quest. They hardly even know you! If anything, I'm more qualified for a quest than you are. You just screw it up somehow, just like you screwed up at the stupid cooking contest! You stick your tongue out at him. Sucks to suck, dude. They gave it to me, not you. Obviously, they can tell real talent when they see it. And maybe they need to get their eyes checked, he mutters under his breath, crossing his arms and looking away from you to pout. You didn't tell me you had an older brother. His jaw tightens. I don't have to tell you anything. We're not friends. We're not even acquaintances. Are you sad that your brother gave me a quest and not you? You tease him. No! He snaps at you. That's ridiculous! Why would I care what my brother does? He's just as foolish as you are! If you didn't care, then why wait out here for me? Because... His face turns red. Because I'm not about to let some dirty commoner like you disrespect me in my own home! Let alone exclude me from some important quest! I'm going to come with you, and you're not going to stop me! He pants after his declaration, slowly inhaling and exhaling. He fixes his bangs, brushes himself off, and straightens his back, composing himself once more. So, where are we going first? What? No way, man! You can't just insert yourself into my quest! Of course I can. You wouldn't deny the Prince of Erwin, would you? He smiles at you mischievously. You grit your teeth. You're seriously gonna play that card? That's just straight up wrong. Well, it worked, didn't it? He looks down at his hand to observe his nails, despite the fact that his hands are covered by sleek white gloves. Answer the question. Where are we going? We're not going anywhere yet. Arden said to get some supplies first. Alright then, go and get the supplies so the quest can actually start. I don't know where they are, you argue. He suppresses a laugh. Well, isn't that unfortunate? It looks like you need my help after all to find your way around. You're lucky I'm offering you my assistance out of the goodness of my heart, Fixer. Yeah, right, you probably wouldn't know your way out of a room of doors. Well, he takes a step back at your statement. That doesn't even make any sense! Why don't you lead me to the supplies yourself? You put your hands on your hips. Apparently they're in the storehouse. Easy, he states. Just follow me and don't fall behind, understand? If you get lost, I'm not coming back for you. Yeah, sure you wouldn't. Lead the way. Oh, it's gonna be one of those days, huh? Whatever. Make it work. This place is really cool, though. You and Vincent walk through the atrium casually. You continue to gawk at the decor, prompting him to scoff. Do you have to act like that? Like what? Like that! He points back to your face. You're going to swallow insects if you keep your mouth open like that. Cut me some slack. Okay, it's my first time in a castle. You pause, looking around the room. What did they say this room was called? An an atrium? Vincent raises an eyebrow at you. Yeah, that! What's that mean? It's just another way of saying entry hall, Vincent states. This is one crazy entry hall, then. Yes, I would wager that everything in this room is more expensive than your life savings, he states. So try not to touch anything, alright? I don't want it to decrease in value because your dirty hands touched it. You growl at him. You come along now. We're wasting time. The storehouse is outside. Alright. How big is this place even? They had like these huge walls on the outside. And there's this castle, but there's also all of these courtyards outside. It's pretty crazy. Whoa. So many buildings. Such a cool place. Whoa, what is this? Look at all these stalls! That's a whole turkey! I can't touch it. Right. I'm hands to myself. There's so much more even in this direction. Whoa. Whoa. Look at this. Continue to walk through numerous courtyards, each one bustling and busy with castle staff, guards, or visitors. You glance around at the fountains, at the carefully carved shrubbery that line the path as Vincent continues to speak. Those are the stables where we keep the finest steeds in the kingdom. And then that's where we keep our own personal livestock. Why does the castle need its own livestock? What? Do you expect us to use the same quality ingredients as everyone else? He glances back at you. Ha! Funny! But no, we only source the finest materials for our meals, our clothes, our weaponry, everything. Huh. You really are privileged. What was that? Nothing! You put your hands up. What about that place over there? You point toward the mountain, making out the branches of a purple leaf tree in the distance. Hmm? Oh. That's one of our many gardens, Vincent states. I'd keep your distance, however. You'll end up trampling all of our beautiful flowers with your clumsy footing. Ha! Right, sure. However, as you stare at one another, you manage to make out a young girl's voice over the chaos. Ready or not, here I come! She calls from the gardens. This is followed by some enthusiastic giggling, before eventually, found you! Vincent pauses at the noise and looks toward the gardens. Hang on. Hmm? Is that a kid's voice? Vincent groans. Oh gods, what is she doing out here? She's supposed to be doing her lessons right now! Without any explanation, he starts to move toward the gardens with a stern look on his face. She's gonna give those maids heart attacks, I swear. Wait, what's going on? The store out that way? Vincent! Where are you going?
No. I think she found us.
Rosaria? Vincent frowns down at the little girl, narrowing his eyes. What are you doing out here? The little girl looks at the ground.
Oops. Oh, wait, what is going on here, Rex? What are you doing with him?
Lily raises an eyebrow at Vincent. Well, I was gonna ask you the same thing! Never mind that! Vincent waves you all off, kneeling down in front of the little girl. Do the maids know you're out here?
No.
She pouts. Does father know you're out here?
Also no. Wait. Father? Wait, as in both of your guys' father?
Slowly, Lily starts to put the puzzle pieces together. Her eyes widen as she looks down at Rosaria. Aiden looks at her in confusion.
Oh, of course! That's Rosaria Davenport. She's the Princess of Erewhon. Huh?
Lily's eye twitches. She's also my ridiculous little sister. Vincent massages the bridge of his nose.
What?
Wait, so you have a brother and a sister? Why are you so interested in my family dynamics, Fixer? They're none of your business. Vincent scowls at him. And you two, what were you doing out here with my sister?
I promise, we were just playing a game, Prince Vincent.
Aiden says, bowing respectfully.
Don't get mad at Aiden and Lily.
You're not off the hook either, young lady, he chastises her. You're supposed to be in your lessons before lunch. How do you think your tutor and attendants feel right about now? The child huffs up at him before slowly, you notice her eyes begin to glisten. Her lip starts to quiver and her shoulders start to shake.
Big brother!
Vincent blinks at her. No, don't make that face. Stop that.
Please don't be mad at me.
She sniffles and stammers.
I'm sorry.
Rosaria! Vincent quickly looks around at the various nobles and servants in the garden. Several of them have begun to watch the scene unfold. People are looking! I'm aware, you buffoon! Vincent hisses at you, quickly scooping up Rosaria into his arms and groaning. You're such a handful, I swear to Unity. He frowns. Look, if you keep running away like this, you're going to get yourself hurt. Now, I don't think either of us want that, so why don't you go back, let the maids take care of you, and finish off your lessons? I'll stop being upset if you do. The little girl nods slowly, still sniffling. So, are you going to go back inside? I can play a stupid game or whatever with you later, but first you need to tell your maids you're safe before they turn the castle upside down.
Okay.
The child nods, wiping her eyes. Good. Thank you, Vincent responds, putting her back down. Run along now, you little rascal. Rosario looks back at Aiden and Lily.
Thank you for playing with me. It was nice seeing you again, Aiden, and it was nice to meet you, Lily. I liked playing with you. You're really cool. It was my pleasure, Rosaria. Bye!
She waves quickly before rushing back toward the castle. Vincent watches her go before smoothing his bangs out of his eyes. God, it's one thing after another. He glances back at you all. What are you looking at? That was strangely nice of you. Shut your mouth! He snaps at Rex.
Wait, what are you even doing here, Rex? I don't think you answered that question earlier.
Miley leans over to whisper to Rex.
Isn't Vincent like your arch enemy or something? Didn't expect to see the two of you hanging out or getting along.
Well, I wouldn't say that. He's just following me because I got a cool quest.
What?
Oh, geez, there's a lot to explain. So, long story short, the Starseekers gave me a quest and they told me to gather up some supplies before I head out.
Wait, the Star Seekers?
I know, right? It's awesome! So then Vincent got jealous and I did not take that back! Vincent hisses at Rex. And now we're here! Rex points at Lily. What about you? What are you doing in the castle?
Nothing nearly as grand. I came here on behalf of Zayden the Hunters Association. He asked me to meet up with Freya to discuss some financial stuff.
Lily casts a sideways look at Vincent and Aiden before giving Rex a knowing smile. He nods. I gotcha. I actually just saw Freya recently.
Oh, you did?
Lily's mind wanders back to her encounter at the gates of the castle. She sighs.
That actually makes so much sense. You were the meeting the guards were talking about.
What?
Nothing. Do you know where Freya went, maybe? It's really important that I talk to her.
I think she said she'd be near the front gates or something. Apparently she had business to handle with some merchants over there.
Perfect. Thanks, Rex.
Lily starts to rush off, leading Aiden to awkwardly glance between Vincent and Rex.
It's nice seeing you both.
He waves before running after Lily.
Allie, wait for me!
Vincent scoffs, watching them go. Are they just letting anyone into the castle today? He adjusts his cape before walking out of the garden. Let's just get back on track already. You were the one who derailed everything, dude.
Okay. Let's go.
Alright, well, where is it from here? Well, there's some pretty archways. Look at that. Look at that tree. It's big. Huh. This place is huge. And it feels like it just gets bigger. That's part of the mountain? That mountain range is also huge. Jeez. Is this it? Ah, finally we made it. Okie dokie. You and Vincent step into the storehouse cautiously. A number of weapons and general supplies line the walls. Swords, shields, lances, bows, greatswords, daggers, and crossbows hang up on their respective racks, while ropes, pickaxes, axes, backpacks, canteens, and even armor make up every shelf and remaining corner. Whoa! Look at all this stuff! This is used by the castle guard as storage, obviously. Vincent crosses his arms. Just take what you need so we can move on. And you'd better return it after our little quest! You approach a wall littered with weapons, looking over the swords and comparing them to your own. Relax. Wasn't planning on stealing any of it. I have my own stuff. You hold up your sword. I should be fine with this. That? Really? He stifles a laugh by putting his hand over his mouth. What's wrong with it? It's so worn. When's the last time you sent your weapon to a smith for sharpening? Never? You've never had your sword sharpened. He stares at you in shock. It's a miracle that you can still manage to cut through paper, let alone monsters. You shrug your shoulders. Hasn't failed me yet, and it gets the job done. Besides, I don't really have the money to sharpen it. He scoffs. You don't have to lie, you know. I highly doubt that after all those jobs you've done, you don't have a little bit of pocket change. It's the truth. Most of the money I make goes towards rent. Rent? He asks. You don't even own a house. You shake your head casually as you pick up some coils of rope. Nope. I've been staying at the inn in Latona Gate. Hey, do you think we'll need any more rope? He stares you in disbelief before groaning, hanging his head. He rests his hand on his brow to hide his face. I can't believe this. Is that a yes or a no on the rope? No, yes, I don't care, he gripes. What I can't believe is that they would entrust you with some important quest. You obviously don't know what you're doing. What gives you that idea? You frown at him. You're holding 3 coils of rope in your arms with no bag to put them in. You look down at the ropes as the coils become undone, falling around your feet. Touché. What makes you so special that you get some grand responsibilities from my father's council? What makes them think you're so much better than me? He pauses, cutting himself off. You stare at him. So that's what this is about? You really are jealous! Don't be ridiculous, he rolls his eyes. I've said it before. Why would I be jealous of a bumbling hooligan like you? Why are you so mad I got the quest and you didn't? Because it doesn't make any sense, he explains. You're just like any other person in this kingdom who tries to end up famous. There are possibly dozens of people just like you. But what is it about you, Rex, that makes you so appealing to everyone? He kicks a crate in frustration, only for the crate to be far heavier than he anticipated. He quickly hops backward, lifting his foot in pain. Ow, ow, ow! Maybe because I'm a bit more complicated than I look. Please, you're about as complicated as a children's book. He rolls his eyes, rubbing his foot in irritation. You're obviously not here for your brains, and your brawn is severely lacking. Hey! Whatever, he states. By going with you, I have a better chance of getting to the bottom of this myself. And when you inevitably need me to swoop in and save the day because you're too incompetent to get things done on your own, I'll gladly take the credit for this mission's success. Sure. You look over the different shelves in search of some extra materials. Your eyes land on some lightly luminescent potions which sit on the top shelf, glowing a gentle scarlet hue. Ooh! You reach up and grab one. What are these? Obviously they're potions, Vincent says. Yeah, I know that, dingus. What do they do? They're healing potions. If someone gets injured, one of these potions is the power to, you guessed it, heal them. Okay, wise guy. What about this? That's an unlit torch, he states. You blink at the tall, sturdy stick in your hand, quickly shuffling it back onto the shelf you found as you mutter under your breath. Do you have everything you need, or are you done wasting time? I don't see you helping to gather materials. I have everything I need right here, he states, putting his hand on the hilt of his rapier at his hip. What if you get hurt? I won't, because I'm better than that, he shrugs. Nobody's perfect. He narrows his eyes. That's because you've never witnessed perfection. He tosses his hair. Just hurry up and get what you need so we can move out, will you? Yeah. You don't need anything. I'm already prepared. But screw you. You know what? I don't need to take their stuff. They can keep it. My trusty sword. I don't need any rope. Don't need any unlit torches. You know what? We're good. You ready? Huh. So now what? I guess we need to find Arden? Whatever he is at, though. Those are a lot of towers. These ones are huge. Ginormous archways. What is that building? Huh. Oh, that's also a breathtaking view. Wow. Look at that. Crap, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Where is Arden? There's no way he's back up in his room again, right? No way. There's no shot. Those stables? What, those look wicked! Oh, I'd kill to be a horse. What, you get to live in there? You get to eat hay and like walk around on that dirt and drink water? These are luxurious! Okay, we'll ignore the fact I just fantasized about being a horse for like 30 seconds. I said we'll ignore it!
Hey, Rex. Wait a second.
Lily? Where did you come from? I thought you were talking with Freya.
I was. Apparently it didn't go well.
Aiden murmurs with a small smile.
But it gave me an idea.
An idea.
You said you got a quest from the Star Seekers, right?
Lily questions him, stepping closer. Closer. Yes? He confirms in confusion.
Did they mention if you were getting paid by the end of it?
Not really. I barely even know the details of the quest yet.
I see.
She brings her hand to her chin.
Then, do you mind if I tag along with you?
Huh? Hang on a minute, Vincent scoffs. I'm already tagging along with him. You can't have more than one tag along.
I thought that you hated him. How come you get to be his tag along?
Lily stares at Vincent with narrow eyes. That's none of your business. Slow down. Why do you want to come with me now?
I think it'll help me find a potential solution to the current problems in the Hunters Association. Freya told me that the Hunters aren't exactly giving back the proper amount of funds to keep the guild afloat, which is leading to the financial struggles that Zayd has been having, as well as the possibility that the guild can't be funded anymore due to a lack of money.
Ah.
So, if I could take on more jobs, then maybe I could try and give back more money to save the guild. I doubt I can just change everything at the level I'm at now. But if I make some money, maybe I could at least start trying, though.
So you want to try and take on more jobs to make up the difference?
Why not? But before I commit to anything, though, I want to hear more details about what you're supposed to be doing.
You and me both. I'm as in the dark as you are. But I wasn't just about to go and talk to Arden and figure out what the quest is.
Wait, Arden?
Yeah, turns out he was a Star Seeker the whole time. Crazy, huh?
Somehow I'm not surprised. So you don't mind if I come along?
I don't see why not. You make a great team, remember? X holds out a hand to her. Vincent rolls his eyes. If you ask me, this party's already become unnecessarily large.
I promise I won't let you guys down.
Alrighty. Now to find Arden. Man,
In my
what
defense,
garden?
I've seen this guy like maybe once in my life.
This all seems like East Garden.
Really?
This
He was
feels
over
all like
here?
Garden. Where's the Arden Garden? Oh, there he is.
Oh! Yeah, we definitely didn't look...
Arden stands in the garden calmly, with his hands clasped behind his back. He looks up toward the sun, lost in thought. Ambrosia sits near him with a book, flipping through the pages patiently. Yo, Arden! He doesn't jump at your sudden interruption. He doesn't even seem startled by your appearance. He calmly turns in your direction with a smile on his face. There you are, Rex, he says, glancing at the party behind you. And I see you brought more with you than just supplies. That's not a problem, is it? Well, Arden pauses, looking over your allies. Oh? I didn't expect to see you in the castle, Lily.
I didn't expect you to be a star seeker. Looks like we're both surprising each other.
So it seems. Ambrosia glances up from her book, motioning to Lily. Actually, our records indicate that Lily also fell from the sky, Arden. Wait, what? Vincent's head shoots in Lily's direction. Her face turns pale. Really? Arden raises an eyebrow. I was not aware of that. He turns back to Lily. I suppose that makes us even then, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, no need to look so nervous. Based on your expression, you're partial to keeping that information a secret, yes? I'm sorry if Ambrosia's straightforward comment made you uncomfortable. Yes, I'm sorry as well. I was unaware that you wanted to keep that detail to yourself.
It's fine. There was no way for you guys to know that.
Aiden leans over to Lily.
Are you sure it's okay for me to be here? Of course it is. What are they gonna do? Kick you out? Well, they definitely could. There's so many important people here, and then there's me. I'm just a barista. Not from the sounds of all those staff members. You have a ton of skills that could be invaluable. I don't know if they're the most reliable parties. I see you've also brought Prince Vincent with you, Rex. Arden continues, looking between Rex and Vincent. Vincent remains quiet, just crossing his arms at Arden and Ambrosia. More like he's bringing himself. Is that true, Vincent? Arden raises an eyebrow. So what if it is? Vincent murmurs, narrowing his eyes. The quest I gave Rex is no menial task, Arden explains. Do you find me incapable, Valorant of Unity? Vincent's jaw tightens. He didn't say that. Ambrosia steps in. But this isn't something that should be taken lightly. Neither am I, he states simply. I'm going, whether you like it or not. So what's this quest about? Ambrosia opens her mouth to speak with Vincent once more, but Arden puts up a hand to stop her. I see no reason to argue with you, young prince, Arden murmurs. As long as you stay with the Fixer and his companions, I'm sure we'll have no problems. Vincent scowls at the statement, but holds his tongue. Arden glances back at you. I'm sure you've waited long enough to hear the details of this quest. Allow me to explain. I'm sure I don't have to explain the origins of the Awakening. A surge of strange magic spread across the kingdom, causing dozens upon dozens of strange ruins to materialize. Additionally, the monsters in the wilderness became far more dangerous and agitated. I informed you of this when we first met, Ambrosia clarifies. I remember all that. Well, after your visit with High Priestess Reyna, she and I were able to confirm that several of these events, such as the Awakening, as well as your fall into REM, must be deliberate acts of unity. This also leads us to believe that the timing of these events must also be purposeful. You think us falling and the Awakening are all connected?
We haven't found any other explanations for these strange phenomena. We've been keeping an eye on the landscape for quite some time in case there are any further updates or changes to verify this as well. This study has led to some interesting results, to say the least. Results that we're not sure how to explain. He looks Rex directly in the eyes. However, I hypothesize that you travelers may be the key in explaining them. What's been going on out there? While the majority of light magic is diffused across the kingdom, there seems to be specific locations where this magic is at its densest. Light magic condensed at this caliber is abnormal enough to call for investigation. However, so far, we've managed to pinpoint only one location, and it lies in the distant northeast. An abnormal amount of light magic? That's not all, though, Ambrosia further explains. There's some form of light presence that's been moving across the kingdom. We followed its path to this location we're now telling you of, but it seems to have moved since then. It's virtually impossible to pinpoint. We've never seen something like this before.
Are you sure it's a something and not a someone?
It's physically possible to be a person, Arden states. There is no being in this world capable of producing that level of light magic. So what do you want us to do? I want you to investigate the northeast location. It's as simple as that. I believe your connections to the Awakening as travelers could give you an advantage. You may be able to find something we overlooked.
How do we get there?
As resourceful travelers, I trust you'll find your own way there. Is this also part of the test? Astute. Surely you must know a guide who could take you in that direction. Someone familiar with the landscape, perhaps? Rex's eyes light up. Souls and Somber! The Gale Striders, Ambrosia asks. Yeah! No one knows the ruins of the wilderness outside Arrowin better than them! Rex nods. It's wonderful to see that you've managed to make so many unique connections, Arden states proudly. I like that. Vincent huffs. You know, I've also studied the map of Arrowin territory, he mumbles haughtily. Settled then. Let's play the Gale Striders a visit before we go. Aiden shivers.
I mean, if you're going to the Gale Striders, then are you sure you really need me? Come on, Aiden. Why are you selling yourself so short? Didn't we just spend a whole day of everyone talking about how great you are? We could really use you on our team.
Lily pauses before looking back up at Arden and Ambrosia.
Just out of curiosity, is this a paid quest? Or more of a do it out of necessity kind of thing?
They pause, glancing at one another. Well, naturally, you'll be compensated for your efforts, all of you.
Perfect. Just what I wanted to hear.
No need, Vincent says. My presence is compensation enough.
I guess if there's a paycheck out of it. I'm sure my boss will understand if I miss the day. This does seem important after all. Too important. Oh, jeez.
We'll be back with stellar results, Arden. Just wait and see. Rex grins, throwing him a thumbs up. Let's go, team! Adventure awaits! Never say that again. Oh. Let's go.
No, this is great. Adventure awaits, and so does a payday.
Ah!
Move those feet. Move those feet. Woo woo!
Absolutely extraordinary! You both walk through the wilderness with Solus, Somber, Aiden, and Vincent in tow. Solus and Somber have been raving the entire trip, with Somber observing every piece of the wilderness you pass, and Solus excitedly skipping through the plains with her wand in hand. I would have never anticipated that Solus and I would be invited on an official quest with the Starseekers themselves! This is brilliant! Incredible! Spectacular! This is deafening, Vincent mumbles, holding his hands over his ears. They haven't stopped for hours. Get used to it.
I don't think I've been outside of the kingdom for months.
Aiden comments. He shivers.
It's kind of weird.
Somber and I come out here all the time.
Solus beams as she skips.
You get used to it. Just be careful of the slimy monsters. And the boars. Oh, and the wolves.
Aiden blinks at her, his eyes widening in horror.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what?
They're not that tough. Just flex a few fire spells and they'll run for the hills.
Right.
he states, immediately glancing around the fields in concern. I'm absolutely brimming with questions, Somber says. What sort of ruins have we been tasked to investigate? We're not sure yet, but whatever's there, it's giving off a lot of really strong light magic.
What does light magic even really mean?
I don't really know how to explain it, Rex frowns, rubbing the back of his neck. From what Penelope told me, magic exists on a spectrum or something. There's light magic, dark magic, and magic kinda in between. It's not just magic, Vincent states. The entirety of REM's part of the spectrum of light and dark. It stems back to some of the most ancient teachings of Unity. Now that I think about it, I don't even really know who Unity is. You're kidding. I know she's a goddess and that she has something to do with why people like me are in this world. But beyond that, I have no idea what her deal is. Allow me to enlighten you! And Somber jumps forward. You see, legend has it that the world began with nothing but darkness. However, Unity appeared and dispelled the darkness. She created the very land we walk on and lit up the sky with stars.
So, she's like the origin of light or something?
That is certainly one way to put it! All you need to know is that she brought about life itself, Vincent says. Since you're so buddy-buddy with the Valorant of Unity, why don't you just ask him for a lesson sometime? I'm sure he'd be thrilled to tell you all about Unity. He huffs, crossing his arms. As everyone in that castle seems to be infatuated with you. Maybe I will ask him. Vincent scowls at Rex.
As far as I know, the Awakening... Doesn't the Awakening also have something to do with Unity?
Aiden chimes in.
I mean, the light magic that you guys were talking about in the garden sounds kind of familiar to the weird surge of magic that spread across the entire land. It's what brought up all these ruins in the first place.
Interesting indeed! Perhaps we may have finally unraveled a piece of the puzzle today. I'm looking forward to having an opportunity to further my own studies on the magic that caused these ruins to appear.
But before we do that, can we have snack time?
Solus asks.
I'm hungry.
I don't know if now is the best time for snacks. We should still take this job seriously. Even though this could be an awesome opportunity for us, Arden said that there could be a lot of dangerous monsters in this area.
Right. Darker monsters are drawn to lighter magic. Rex nods, his memories of the Kraken attack flooding his mind.
We need to stay alert for anything that might not belong.
Vincent puts a hand on the hilt of his sword. Don't sound so worried. I'm here, after all. I doubt that those creatures will be a challenge. He moves closer to Lily, smiling at her in a suave manner. If you're scared, I'll gladly take the lead and protect you from harm.
No thanks.
All right, then, he replies, sighing and stepping away again. Rex sticks his tongue out at Vincent, who glares at him in return.
Are they normally like this?
Aiden asks Lily.
It's weird to see someone act so openly hostile towards Prince. No, trust me, this is normal. Just try to ignore them.
Alright, what direction from here? Wait, we talked so long I completely lost track. Oh, I think I spot something.
Perhaps this way?
I see wolves.
Oh, I do too.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah!
Okay. Wow, two just sicked themselves onto me.
Watch out! There we go. Woohoo! Okay, keep moving. Keep your eyes peeled for anything else. Slimes, boars, boars, boars!
Boars?
Yeah!
I see 'em. Yeah, I got one off of you.
There we go. I just started a little bit of a fire, but that's okay.
All right.
There are wolves over here too.
Understood?
Come here! I think we're good. Then we can just check out the ruins. You good? Okay.
I just took him out.
Cool ruins.
Oh!
These guys! I almost forgot about them. More of these are active now. Last time they were kind of just all. Ah!
Do they normally do that?
Wow! What were these things called again? Cobble lobbers? There we go.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, check out these
Are these
ruins.
supposed to be?
Look at this. Somber looks over the walls of the ruin in interest. I see. How fascinating!
What are we seeing exactly?
I'm glad you asked! Somber announces loudly, motioning to the wall in front of him. His index finger motions along a particular crack. This marking here indicates that once upon a time, these ruins were attached to a far larger structure. This could mean that perhaps a different wall protruded from here, or even an old tower. How could you tell that much from a crack? A learned scholar studies every part of his surroundings to better understand the world itself. Somber reads all the time, Solus adds. One time before bed, I saw him reading a book about studying. The flow of information into your brain decreases if you don't use the proper study habits.
I don't know, Solus. I think it's nice that you're around someone who's so dedicated to his craft. I heard that passion can be infectious. That explains a lot, actually.
Can you gather any more information from these ruins? Vincent asks. Maybe they'll point us in the right direction of the whatever it is we're looking for. I'm afraid that's not necessarily how it works, Somber states, taking a notebook out to scribble down some quick notes and sketches. Some quick sketches and comments about the ruins before you. With how spread out these ruins are from one another, it's practically impossible to predict another's location with archaeology! Just have to keep exploring, then. Indeed! However, before we go, let me just take about a dozen more notes!
We shouldn't stay in one place for too long. I'm still nervous about those monsters that the Star Seekers mentioned.
Why is everyone in this party so fearful? The monsters aren't a problem.
Well, you say that now, but I've seen some pretty threatening monsters. Coming from the hunter, that's not worrying at all.
Aiden states. He puts a hand over his mouth and mutters under his breath.
Oh god, what am I doing here?
Somber, are you done yet?
Solus complains, jumping onto his back.
I wanna go!
Solus, please don't punch on me when I'm taking notes! Well, let's try this way. I have a good feeling about this direction. Just a hypothesis, anyway. Boars!
Alright, let's take them out.
Why are you so mean? Huh.
Oh!
Spiky.
Hey, wolves! To the right.
And there are ruins up ahead, too.
You're right.
Is it just me or is it slowly starting to get, like, more wooded?
Actually, yeah, you're right.
Huh. You got that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Another
Haven't
set.
encountered any
So, are
slimes
these
yet.
what
That's 'cause
the
of my
ruins you
favorites.
encountered originally looked like as well?
They all look different. They're all like the same architectural style.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
There's another one of these. Oh, it's a lobber!
no.
Alrighty. Look at the bushes.
Ooh.
Oh, more big guys. Ah! Magic doesn't work on them! Alright.
Oh.
Look, because they're just stone.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's similar, but there's even like an arch here and everything.
Yeah. The group glances around the second set of ruins curiously. This looks exactly like the first one. Vincent states. It's quite similar indeed! Perhaps it was an extension of the previous structure. Or perhaps it is just an example of architectural continuity!
What were these ruins part of?
Miley asks, her hand trailing down an abandoned pillar.
Does anyone know that yet? Like, How old are they, or where they came from?
As far as I know, that's part of the mystery of the awakening. When the awakening started, these ruins just appeared across the countryside. Vincent explains. It's as though they materialized out of thin air. Empty landscapes suddenly were dotted with old stone arches and pillars, unlike anything we've ever seen before. Historically speaking, they remain a mystery! However, the age of the stone indicates that these ruins must have been part of an ancient civilization which flourished possibly hundreds of years ago!
But why did they vanish until the awakening? It's a mystery.
And it's not the point of my mission, Vincent states, putting his hands on his hips. And Rex shoots him a look. Our mission! You're lucky I agreed to even bring you. Right. Of course. He responds sarcastically to Rex before turning to the rest of the group. We were tasked with locating the beacon of light magic, and I intend to fulfill that task. He points to the ground, motioning to a couple of straight pillars that extend out further to the north. I say we continue that way. Why that way? The destruction progresses in that direction, Vincent says. Therefore, logic follows there are more ruins waiting to be found over there. It's simple, really. Okay, but wouldn't logic also follow that we go this way? Rex motions to the south. Look! The floor continues almost like a path over there. That could just be the floor of whatever old building we're standing in. It's as unreliable as a path. Yeah, but so is your destruction theory. It's hardly a theory, Vincent glares at Rex. It's sound logic. You just can't comprehend it with that small brain of yours. My small brain? You're the one that has to rely on me for any kind of important mission, but I'm the one with the small brain? I don't rely on you for anything. I just knew that you would fail without me, so I'm offering you my services humbly. You. Humble. Maybe when pigs fly. Pigs can't fly in REM, right? As far as I'm aware, they cannot! Then I stand by what I said. We're going this way. No, this way! Quit being difficult! Quit trying to hijack my quest! Our quest!
Okay, that's enough.
Lily massages her temples.
And I thought the farm festival was bad. Look, why didn't we just flip a coin or something? If Vincent's way doesn't work out, we'll turn back and go Rex's way, and vice versa. Not everything's a competition. We're all here to get to the bottom of whatever is going on with this light magic stuff. So can we just focus on that, please?
Fine. Whatever, Vincent replies, digging around in his pocket. He withdraws a silver coin. We can use this to decide.
Okay. If it's heads, we go Rex's way. If it's tails, we'll go with Vincent's way. Is that clear?
Yes, crystal clear. He flicks the coin with his thumb, looking up as it twirls through the air above him. He catches it and flips it onto his hand, pulling his fingers away to reveal the coin's decision. Heads, he says through gritted teeth. Woohoo! Eat that!
Rex?
Ow! I mean, respectfully, eat that. Ugh. Vincent growls, shoving the coin back into his pocket. Let's just go already. But when we have to turn around because this buffoon was wrong, don't say I didn't warn you.
All right. We'll see. What is wrong with you? You've got your way. We're going your way.
Alrighty. Ah!
Oh, wow.
There's a tiny! I didn't see him coming! Oh,
Get them all?
I haven't seen that before. That's crazy.
Neither have I. Those were tiny.
Yeah, now I'm keeping my eyes peeled on the grass. I want to get swarmed again by other insects. With Vendetta!
Ah, it happened again.
Oh, hey. Oh, I got a spider eye. That's cool. Ooh.
Ugh.
Lily!
Is that what I think it is?
Do you think these berries are edible?
I don't know.
I want to collect some.
Yeah, go for it.
You know, in RPGs, collectible components like this are always useful. Okay, that's enough berries. I got 6 berries.
Oh, you sound so excited.
I'm prepared for the spiders. Come at me,
All right.
spiders!
You hear that, spiders? He got berries.
I have armor made of berries. An impenetrable defense of berries. Are those ruins I see? And more berries! Why was I more excited about the berries?
It's okay.
Ah!
I went to pick a berry.
You good? Here's a berry.
Oh, thank you.
We made it!
Oh,
You sneak around the larger set of ruins curiously. Hey, this is actually promising! I told you this was the right direction. Lucky guess. Vincent mumbles under his breath.
these are some definitely large ruins. Probably the largest we've seen so far.
Aiden states, looking down at the carved floor. He slowly runs his hand along some of the grooves in the overgrown stone brick.
It feels different. Different how, Aiden? I'm not sure how to explain it to someone without a sense for magic. It's like there's thicker air around here than normal. It's not hard to breathe or anything, it just feels almost humid.
It makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end, right?
Yeah, that's it. Arden did say the place we were looking for was like a beacon.
Lily brings a hand to her chin.
Maybe that means we're getting closer?
I'm uncertain. Do you feel anything, Solus?
My tail's frizzing up. We're definitely close.
If that were the case, then we'd be seeing more creatures around here. Well, maybe we got lucky and almost on cue, you hear an aggressive snarl from behind you. You jolt, turning around quickly to find yourself face to face with a larger beast than usual, which bares its fangs at you. Man, you just had to say something, didn't you? Rex gives Vincent a deadpan expression. Don't give me that look! He recoils in offense. You probably hurt us because you don't know how to close your big mouth!
Not the time, you two. Look out!
Not again!
I mean, how? Ooh.
Oh, these ones are. Ah!
Ooh, watch out.
Yeah. Huh. More!
Ah, more. Ooh,
Yeah!
nice.
Oh, there's a lot of web.
Yeah.
Hey, let's try getting closer. While collecting berries. Alright. Whoa. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Door. You step in front of the doors curiously, looking at the intricate engravings across the rim of the archway. The doors themselves are pristine stone with a couple of cracks here and there, but overall they appear to be in decent shape despite the wear and tear around them.
Ooh!
Solus's tail sways.
Big ominous doors!
Somber adjusts his glasses.
Marvelous! I don't believe I've ever seen carvings like this in any other ruins we've explored.
Is this the place Arden was talking about?
I mean, looks pretty promising. Rex shrugs his shoulders.
There's definitely a ton of magical energy around here. Something about this door is causing a concentrated amount of power to emanate from these ruins. Well, I think that answers my question then.
What now? We open it, obviously. What else would you do with a magic door?
Are you sure that's safe?
Why wouldn't it be? It's just a door.
I'm worried about whatever lies beyond the door. Well, we won't know until we see it for ourselves.
Come on, Solus! Somber waves her over to the door.
Hang on!
Aiden reaches out his hand cautiously. However, his words are lost on Solus and Somber as they excitedly grab at the door and attempt to heave it open. It's quite stuck, isn't it?
I can't feel my arms.
Don't tell me it's locked or something. How could it be? There's no keyhole. Maybe it's magically locked? There's obviously more to this than that. Vincent brings a hand to his chin. The Element of Unity wouldn't have sent us out here if he didn't think I had the ability to open it. You mean, if I didn't have the ability? Whatever. Vincent waves him off.
Obviously, Arden thought that this was a challenge only a traveler could complete.
Rex narrows his eyes and looks over the arch once more. He recalls the temple underground that brought him and Ellis to Erowyn. Lily said she found herself in the same temple, right? Therefore, maybe this really is a traveler problem to solve. Hey, Lily. Why don't we give it a go then?
I guess we could try it. What are you guys going to do?
Hopefully something really cool. Lily strides forward confidently. Rex watches her for a moment before jogging to her side, giving her a supportive grin and nod. Together then?
Together.
You both reach out a hand and touch the door. Oh my god, that was brilliant!
Look at how shiny it is on the other side! It's so pretty and sparkly!
I've never seen a door like this in the wilderness. And why was it you, of all people, that were able to open it?
Let us explore, quickly!
Aw, man! That's no fair!
Looks like we're the only ones that can go in. But why?
I don't know. Something tells me we need to get to the bottom of this.
This is ridiculous.
Well, we'll see you guys on the flip side, I guess.
You look around the strange environment, shivering. The air is cool and still, and it's so quiet that your ears are ringing.
Where are we?
You look around at the ominous structures that hover over the empty, star-filled void. How the heck was all this past the door? This place is huge! As Rex speaks, his voice echoes throughout the space, repeating over and over again before all goes quiet again. He covers his mouth in surprise, glancing at Lily apologetically. She just shakes her head and smiles at him, as if to quietly inform him that he was fine. Silence fills the area once more. You both stare at the environment in awe before. Welcome, travelers, to the— Ah! Rex's exclamation causes Lily to jump and turn one of the mechanisms on her ears down.
Jeez!
She catches her breath.
What the heck was that?
I'm sorry! I was startled! When I get startled, I scream!
No, not that. I meant the voice just now.
Who? Me?
Yes, you! Who's there?
Oh, no one special. You don't have to look so tense about little old me.
That is not helpful in the slightest.
Are you talking in our brain? Why is your voice so loud?
Talk in your brain? I'm not that powerful. Although I'm flattered that you think I am.
This is so weird. If you're not in our head, then where are you?
Around.
Okay. Obviously, those kinds of questions aren't getting us anywhere. If you won't tell us who you are, you can tell us where we are?
I'm so glad you asked, Lily.
How do you know my—
As I was going to say before I was interrupted, welcome, travelers, to the Dreamscape.
Dreamscape?
This place is a place of pure imagination and creativity, a realm crafted by the goddess for those blessed by her power to experiment with and enhance their capabilities.
What does that mean? And seriously, how did you know my name?
I know many things. I know both of your names, actually.
That's even more suspicious!
How is it suspicious?
You know both of our names despite the fact that I'm pretty sure we've never met before?
Oh, come on. I just gave you the answer to your question. You're pulling the suspicious card on me. Doesn't really look good, dude. Are you, dude? I don't even know. I'm not a bad guy here. I'm actively trying to help you, the voice argues. In fact, I've been waiting for someone like you to find a place like this. Do you realize how boring that is? All right, look, I'll even throw you a bone. Here. A light begins to glow in front of you, as though a star materialized before your eyes.
What is this?
Just touch it. We're not gonna, explode, right? What? No! Why would I want to kill you? I'm on your side! Just trust me!
It's hard to trust someone who won't show us their face.
It's not time for that yet. Just touch the light already! I mean, what's the worst that could happen, really?
I guess you have a point. Alright, fine.
You both reach out into the light, and you feel something solid and tangible appear in your hands. You withdraw your arm from the light, and in turn withdraw the object. In Rex's hand, a glittering empty sphere condenses into his palm. In Lily's, a simple quiver full of arrows. Is this a focus? Rex asks, observing the sphere.
That it is. Go ahead and try it on.
Hesitantly, Rex slots his focus into the gauntlet. It's a perfect fit. Sweet! But it doesn't have anything in it. Is that intentional?
Yep. As for what that focus will do, that's for you to discover.
And what about this quiver?
Lily glances up into the stars for the voice.
The arrows in that quiver have the potential to be virtually anything.
Like, what?
Good question. You'll have to figure that one out for yourself. But don't worry, you'll have plenty of time to get those creative juices flowing as you progress.
Progress?
You don't think those items came from free, did you? You can't just enter a dreamscape, get a blessing, and then leave. Is that how this works?
Of course it's not.
Besides, I need to see how committed you two are, especially since you're the first ones here.
What does that mean?
I'm waiting for you both at the end of this dreamscape, the voice says. When you make it to the end, we can have a serious talk. I promise. No funny business, no nothing.
And you'll actually answer our questions?
That too. But first, you gotta get here.
The voice chuckles.
I mean, you don't have much of a choice here. The exit disappeared behind you a while ago.
You both whip around to look at the exit to confirm the voice's words. Sure enough, it's gone.
When did that happen?
Good luck! I'll see you at the finish line, travelers.
Wait! Rex tries to call out to them, but he's met with no response. He groans, looking back at Lily. Looks like we don't have many other options, huh?
Looks like it.
Lily nods, looking down at the quiver.
They said I could create different effects with these arrows? I wonder how I'm supposed to do that.
Yeah, Rex agrees. Pretty curious about this focus. What am I supposed to do with one that's empty? I don't know about you, but I doubt there's any spell-making supplies in wherever we are.
Well, there's only one way to figure this out. Let's find our way to the end of this place.
Whoa, that's a lot of stars.
Wow, okay.
Oh!
Are you... Oh! Yeah! Okay, just don't fall. Don't... I can see your breath.
Guess it's kind of chilly in here.
Yeah, I didn't realize that till just now. Okay,
What happens if we fall?
Just don't.
Do you think we ever stop falling?
No, don't even entertain it. Don't.
What if we come out the top?
If that happens, I mean, wouldn't we just infinite be falling? Because we just...
Unless you caught yourself.
Yeah, better do it. No. We have places to be.
Okay.
Just don't fall. We don't have to find out what
Whoa,
happens.
look at that. It's
Oh,
like
wow.
destroyed and junk. What
Yeah.
is this? They're like the ruins, but like not.
No, I get what you mean. I guess we'll figure it out along the way. It's actually kind of pretty, even though it's destroyed.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
These walls.
Oh!
What is that?
I don't know! Oh, there's a hole behind you! Don't fall in the hole! You're out of your head.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It was like a slime, but it was purple. And it dissipated when we beat it up. What is this? There are creatures in here?
I guess so?
What was that?
What happens if we die in here? I mean, I know what happens if we die back where we were, but...
Let's just be careful, I guess. Another gap. I see more entities.
Alright,
There's another slime. There's also
Yeah,
what is
so-
that?
Oh!
Whatever that is as well.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Oh!
Come on, you got this.
Whew.
And this one.
Alright.
Okay.
Why did our screams sound identical?
Ah, it was terrifying. What was that?
I don't know.
It's like a spiral of rods.
I don't like it. Why does it sound like
Ah, watch out! What? This kind of looks like a. Is that a zombie? What the heck?
I don't know, but it's purple.
I've never seen a zombie. A purple zombie, though. They're
So-
undead?
That water red?
Oh.
What?
Okay. A lot of ruins.
Oh.
Check out this grass.
Oh.
It's blue. I've never seen blue grass before. What?
Neither have I.
It's blue.
It is blue.
I found a magic wall.
Whoa.
Well, crap. What are we supposed to do about this?
I don't know.
Eh.
I'm not exactly bursting magic walls. They just. No.
Okay. There's something up there. That looks kind of familiar.
It looks familiar?
Yeah. Vaguely.
Alright, let's see if we can.
There's some vines on this wall, but they are dead. Whoops.
Oh, what the?
Those are dead. There's also like a little basin thing.
It seems to be.
No
Why are you so excited about a bucket?
reason.
Is there something in the bucket? You were really excited, like really happy.
I think I have an idea.
Oh?
Red liquid. Bucket. Bowl.
I'm seeing what you're saying.
Alright.
But what would red liquid and bowl do?
Who knows? With
Well,
time
we
to
have
find
better
out.
Ideas. Yeah, no, I guess you're
All
right.
right,
You're right.
bucket time! You pick up the bucket next to the strange crimson pool. You carefully dip the bucket in the fountain, collecting as much of the liquid as possible into the bucket.
Well, I mean, it's not burning our hands off, so far so good.
It actually feels nice. Just what do you think this stuff is exactly?
No clue. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure I want to know.
You carry the bucket over to the strange chalice next to the dead vines.
Go ahead.
You begin to pour the liquid into the chalice, emptying the bucket entirely. Once the chalice is full, you notice a warm aura surround the chalice and the adjacent vines. You take a step back, watching as the liquid drains from the chalice, and life returns to the dead vines, rejuvenating them. Oh, sweet!
Huh, looks like whatever this crimson stuff is, it just brought the vines back to life. We should be able to climb up the ledge now.
Heck yeah! But there's just one more thing before we climb. Maya glances back at Rex with a raised eyebrow. You think we can keep the bucket?
We're not keeping the bucket.
Dang it.
What is with you and buckets?
Goodbye, my bucket friend.
You
Those
can't
vines.
carry a bucket all the way through. Oh.
Alley-oop.
Ooh.
Nice!
Ooh.
Yeah, Lally's learning how to climb vines. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah,
Whoa.
this definitely looks familiar.
Oh.
Here, help me rotate this thing.
Oh.
Huh? Wonder if that did anything. It's definitely very bright. Oh, look! No more blue
Sweet.
barrier.
Ah.
Okay. What is that?
Oh! I don't know, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like
He's coming. He's coming. He's running at you.
Get him off of me! Alright. No, I don't.
This guy takes
I don't,
hits.
He really does.
Come on. Jeez.
Whew.
Maybe. Back up.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
You just burned it.
That guy wasn't even taking any damage from our attacks. It was like kind of incorporeal or something. It's like that guy in the mines. It couldn't be affected, remember, by Lydia's axe?
Oh, yeah.
Huh. I guess that's something to look out for.
Yeah. Looks like you'll have to be the one to handle those things.
Got it.
Speaking of, to the left.
Ah! Why'd I even try swinging at it?
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought, like...
Yeah, definitely. The guy only went
Right.
down whenever we used magic.
Okay.
Yeah,
almost
gap.
walked right off.
Who constructs like this? There's no like
There's no logic or sense. Wow. That's neat to look at, but also terrifying.
Jeez. It's like a weird looking torch thing. You see that?
Yeah. I think I saw the thing on top. I saw that back near the entrance, too.
Huh. Intriguing. Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Oh, I
a
don't like those-
very tight
Ah!
jump, yeah. More guys. Oh!
Oh, not them again. Oh, whoa, I'm about to go down.
Oh, this guy's magic proof. You probably need to get that guy back. What? There you go.
I burnt to crisp, and I'm in a forest.
Oh, it's your no. Wait patiently.
I shall wait patiently. Alright, take me out to spectator, por favor. Thank you, plus. Ow!
Hit me.
But you're still translucent. The way that you're translucent with a pair of ears. All right.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow. Whew.
Looks like there's a doorway down there with things on it.
We'll have to be careful not to get pushed off.
Yeah. Maybe this guy will like leap at me and yeah.
Oh! Wow, you actually guessed that exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, watch out for those things! Up ahead. That
Yeah.
thing's gonna rocket launch us.
Oh, there's another thing too.
Whew.
What is that?
Ah! Oh no!
I made it on.
I did too. Oh! I'm about to make it off though.
Oh, holy! Ah! I'm almost getting thrown out.
Okay, don't know where to help.
It's like a. This is a skeleton.
What is a giant? Whoa!
Huh. Coast clear?
Ah, yeah,
You good?
yeah.
Alright.
Oh man.
I just have one of these fountains. And,
Oh yeah.
door? That's sealed. There's another pillar up there, but
There's a bush.
it's like a sapling. You both stare down at the lonely, shriveled sapling in confusion. Poor tree. Doesn't look like it's in good shape.
I mean, considering the environment it's stuck in, I don't blame it.
She glances around the room and notices a ledge directly above the tree, just out of arm's reach.
If only it were a little taller, then maybe we could get up there.
He straightens his back to look toward the ledge as Lily points at it. You're right. He turns his head left and right, observing the room. It seems pretty inconvenient, don't you think? And the chances that a dead sapling just happens to be positioned exactly under the ledge we have to get to.
You make it sound like that mysterious voice purposely put it there like some kind of puzzle.
Oh, no, they didn't. Rex puts his hands on his hips. Didn't you hear when they were preaching about creativity getting us through and stuff like that? Maybe this entire dreamscape was imagined to have these obstacles for us to solve.
You think? I guess it's possible.
It's just like in video games! And if I'm good at anything, it's video games.
Oh, right then. Well, what do we do next, Mr. Gamer?
We locate the key puzzle mechanic. It's gotta be something we can use to turn that sad little sapling into a healthy tree. He slinks away from the sapling and begins to scan his surroundings. His eyes eventually land on the crimson fountain, the same kind that was in the first room you encountered. Aha! I spy continuity!
Right, the fountain. That was the first room, right?
Exactly. Put those vines back to life, so who's to say I couldn't do the same for the sapling?
But there's still an issue with that.
Riley continues, crossing her arms.
The fountain earlier had a chalice and a bucket, but here, we don't have any way of getting this stuff over to the sapling.
Rex frowns. Oh, right. Didn't think of that. There's gotta be something we could do with it! Otherwise, why would it be in here in the first place?
I don't know.
Rex stares at the fountain, a huge frown on his face. Eventually, his eyes wander down to the empty focus in his gauntlet. He pauses, blinking at it. Get your creative juices flowing, huh? What if I... Without any warning, Rex shoves his gauntlet into the crimson liquid, entirely immersing the empty focus in the pool.
Rex, what are you doing?
Thinking outside the box, he announces, pulling his arm out of the liquid moments later. The color crimson drips down the metal of the gauntlet, but the focus retains that color, beginning to glow vibrantly. Ha! Yeah, look it! The pool charts up the focus! So that's what the voice meant!
So, what does it do?
I don't know yet. Only one way to find out!
Huh?
It's a crimson focus. Well, let's see. Huh! Whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa!
That's so cool.
Huh. Nice!
Let's climb it.
Yeah! Wait, that's so wicked! Look, 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 look!
What?
Breathe it in.
Ooh.
It feel better?
Yeah,
This smells awesome! Alright, help me rotate this thing.
Yeah.
Hey, think that worked?
Well, let's go check it out. Whew. Even the trees look cool here.
Yeah, it's like a vine. It just grew so fast. That was like instant.
Yeah.
Huh.
Right.
Fire! Flames! Fire! Okay.
Okie dokie.
And we got a way forward. There's
Okay.
yeah,
I
another one of
see it.
these.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go. I'll get the slime.
All right.
Man,
Come on.
you know, I may only have 3 spells now, but now it feels like I'm actually getting a proper arsenal. That feels pretty good.
This place is actually really neat.
Uh-oh. Here, you heard it all? Not for long!
Oh! Oh, I can't help with these.
I got him.
All right.
Don't worry, you getting injured? I can help
No,
with that.
I'm good. I'm all right. I'm okay.
Got him. Sweet.
Sweet.
Huh.
Oh.
This is another field.
Hmm.
That means there has to be something nearby, but I don't see
I
anything.
don't see one. Oh,
Dang. Rex complains. We're supposed to go from here. He stares at the gate before you, glancing around. You'd think there'd be more of those weird floating pillars or something. He states, kicking a pebble at the magic barrier. It bounces off, ricocheting back to his feet. I don't see anything!
well, clearly we're missing something.
Lily starts to wander down the hallway to investigate further. As she walks by, she notices a small breeze brush past her right shoulder. She pauses in her tracks, moving backward to pinpoint where the breeze is coming from. Eventually, she spots it, a tall pile of rubble in the wall.
Hey, Rex, come check this out.
She waves him over quickly. Rex wanders to her side, observing the rubble. Huh. Looks like this wall is weaker than the other walls.
I know. Like we could just.
Lily rushes forward, trying to kick down the wall with her heel.
Ah!
She fails miserably, stumbling backward.
Dang it! I thought for sure that would work.
Here, let me try, Rex says, cracking his knuckles. All right, wall, prepare to meet your doom! He slams the bottom of his foot into the wall strongly. A shiver visibly moves up his entire body as he too stumbles backwards. I'm gonna feel that tomorrow. What gives? He frowns. This wall looks so breakable! Game logic says we should be able to just knock it down.
We need something stronger than our feet.
Lily muses, putting her hands on her hips. Her fingers brush against the quiver hanging from her belt. She pauses, looking down at it. Any other ideas? Lily doesn't respond, withdrawing an arrow from the quiver.
I might have a couple.
That sounds like an idea voice.
I'm not sure about anything yet. I'm just trying to do what you did. Experiment.
She notches the arrow and draws back the bow.
Come on, Arrow. We need something that will really pack a punch.
Lily squeezes her eyes shut, leveling her bow on the weak wall. After a couple of moments, she releases the arrow. A slight glow collects around the tip of the arrow, causing it to shimmer a light red color. As soon as the tip of the arrow hits the stone, the rock shatters, a loud boom echoing through the halls as pebbles flying upon impact. Gah! Rex blocks his face with his gauntlet. Jeez! What the heck was that? Did that arrow just explode?
Yeah, I did. This place can really harness our creativity. That's what that voice meant when they said that my arrows could have different effects. It's based on whatever I imagined to help us get out of these obstacles.
But seriously, that's awesome.
Let's see what's hiding behind those rocks.
Miley nudges him with her elbow. Heck yeah! Hopefully something useful, like a way through this gate.
You never know. Maybe.
Okay. Oh, another one of these.
Ooh.
Well, doesn't help when you walk in
I
front
don't
of
even
me.
know why I tried swinging at it.
Die. There we go. They just poof. They go poof.
They do.
Here, take some healing. Ah! Wait, yo, what? That healing spell I just dropped. What? It hurts this guy. It hurts this guy.
Oh, that's so cool.
What? What about this guy? Yo!
Wait, it's hurting them?
Yeah, it just totally took them out. Did you see that?
That is awesome.
What about this guy? Oh yeah, this guy counts too.
Alright.
Hold on, I got this guy. Check it out. Down! Get the fire guy!
Working on it. Woo.
Got him.
Nice. Another fire guy in the boat. Mistake you made there. Yeah, focus on the magic one.
Oh, got him. You good?
Yeah.
There's a guy up here. Yeah, there is. I saw him.
Ah.
Boom!
Woo.
Ah!
You okay? Oh, I see.
Got him.
Nice.
Woo!
One more. Ah.
You good?
Yep.
Wait, I got the perfect spell for that. What? I missed it.
Nice.
Eh. Yeah!
Oh, now it's getting him. He seems very unhappy with this situation.
Yeah!
Nice.
Oh, we're killing it.
Something up here and looks like
I
we're
picked up some of your
clear.
arrows.
Oh.
There's a pillar in the middle of this room. Come on.
Oh, you have to move this one again.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Hey, you think I did it?
I'm hoping.
Yeah, looks like it.
Sweet.
Hold on, do you need
Ne-
healing?
It seems like you lose that thing an infinite number of times.
That's magic.
That's
It draws
cool.
on the environment.
Arrows run
Wait.
out.
Hold on, I can get the. Oh, wait, I was gonna get that guy. Look, I made a field he can't cross.
So funny.
Look at that, they can't. Bye. I knocked one off.
Nice.
That
got
was-
scared. I thought
yeah.
I heard something.
Okay.
Take that.
You bet!
All right.
Got him.
Ah! You just threw at my head.
Pew 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 pew.
Yeah, that's right.
Pew pew pew.
Hit him into it.
Bing.
Get back in there.
Oh, it's awesome.
Huh.
All right. Now in here, I guess.
I guess so. Ooh. I'm gonna have some of those sweet berries. I am hungry. I just ate all my berries. It did nothing.
Oh, that's horrible. Ah! What the heck? What was that? Ah!
Ah! Wait,
What the heck is that?
is this something shooting from above?
Okay, I cannot see anything.
This
Ow!
your thing isn't working. Wait, I might have an idea. Just give me a second.
Yeah, sure. Take your time.
Come on. Think. Okay. Watch out.
Hmm?
There we go.
Oh! Oh, what the heck? Huh.
Dang, this imagination thing is really cool.
Wow.
Thanks.
That's crazy. That was invisible.
Yeah.
And then you just revealed it. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a... Ah!
What?
I
Oh!
got attacked by something.
Get attacked by it again.
Ah! I don't see it.
I have no idea where this one is.
Me neither.
I have.
You know what?
my
I don't.
bow and
It's an illusion. All right, let's let's rotate this pillar.
Rotate the pillar.
Ready?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Mhm.
And hopefully that did something.
Do it.
Well, we can't backtrack because the way we jumped.
No, you're right.
These leaves are dead. I have a scheme.
You have a scheme? I believe in
Alrighty.
the scheme.
Wait. Pew!
Ayo?
Whoa! It just shot up.
Whoa! This is like the Jack and the Beanstalk.
Huh.
But cooler!
Eh.
I'm hopping up.
We're gonna jump up there now. Oh, I see a guy. I got him. Ah!
Ah. Oh, ah!
You fell? Oh my.
I got shoved!
Goodbye. Sleep tight.
No!
Sayonara.
Sayonara.
You wait patiently.
Whoop.
I can't heal you.
I don't think healing would help with that. Oh, you were on the edge, my friend.
Where
Alright.
are you?
Whoop.
There
Hi!
you are.
Ah!
Slightly translucent. That'll fix in time, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. We're back up here now. Maybe that the thing we rotated will open this up back here.
Fingers crossed.
Yes! Hold on.
Ooh! Oh, yep, one of those things.
Got him.
Mm-hmm.
This place is huge. Was that where we were at before? Dang, look.
Oh, you're right. I
Right.
remember looking over here.
There's the hoppies.
I can hoppies. Hoppies I can do.
Alrighty.
Oh! Below us. Haha, the barrier.
Yes. The red!
Ah, I'm gonna need some of your healing things.
There you go! Is it working wonders or is it working wonders? Well, maybe we'll get pummeled, alright? I can only heal so much.
I'm here to help.
Oh, this guy isn't susceptible to magic at all.
Ah! Whoa! Enchanted scroll of storm cloud.
Huh. Here you go.
Seems grand. Thank you. Ah!
Heal!
Appreciate.
Alrighty. It looks like that was it for this area.
Yeah. Oh! Yeah, that's right. I like how it bounces when it gets hit by it. Go back in the zone. Ah!
Yay! Here you go. This guy. Ah! There's another one of these guys. What? No!
Alright, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. Oh, what? You got saved. Nice. Ow. Oh, they're trying to get me off the edge again. I know this tactic.
Woo!
Oh, sorry. Just bonked you.
Alrighty.
This is going exceptionally well.
Fire, fire, fire! You need healing?
I'm okay right now.
You need healing?
Okay. I love your healing. Alright.
Okay, well, I got so turned around.
Me too, a little bit.
Guy, can you shoot him?
Yeah, I can. Give me a sec. Ah,
You are,
I had to switch what was being used.
Nice! Bloop, bloop.
Bloop, bloop. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Ah.
There's an arrow here. I want to grab that back.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Just grab the one out of your head too while I'm at it.
Look, more dead leaves!
Do it. Do the magic trick. Do the trick.
Ooh! Ooh!
Ooh.
They grew into vines!
This is pretty.
Ew.
Ah! I almost. Oh, watch out behind.
Yeah, I'm pulling their aggros. They don't like kill you. Healing! Healing!
Woo!
Ooh, there's a barricade here. This one looks damaged, but still can't get through it though. You look like you need healing!
I appreciate it. Shoo!
Don't worry, I got healing! You got him. Nice. There's a guy over here.
Right. Get him.
He's another skeleton guy. He just got cooked.
My dagger.
Oh, sorry. Why'd you throw it?
I didn't mean to.
I mean,
switching
throwing
off
it
of
is
my
a
bow.
tactic, though, so that's fine.
I was switching off of my bow.
I mean, throwing
And
is
it
still good, though.
automatically
I mean, it's a
throws.
nice finisher.
You're not wrong.
Let's
Alright,
rotate.
here we go.
Look at the broken one. There's still a
Ah.
barricade there, so I guess you gotta loop around first.
It's okay.
One of these guys.
Nice.
Oh, I almost got knocked into a hole.
Oh, you're right. I see.
Don't worry, he can't penetrate our defenses.
That's right.
They even got him. Oh boy, there's a couple of those guys. Think you can shoot them?
I can jump.
I'll start jumping across. I will not.
Just stop!
I'll make it now. Who made these jumps?
Oh no.
I had made it first try.
Yeah, you did.
It's a pillar over there.
Here, I got distracted. Oh.
Sorry, I was gonna. Alright, I'll jump.
Oh, that could have been bad.
Come here.
On my way.
Yeah. All right, we gotta rotate. Let's do it.
Right.
Hope that did something. Yeah, it looks like it lowered that barricade over there.
Perfect.
We just
Alright.
gotta go back.
Hey, you got it first try last time. You got this.
You're right. Yeah, I nailed it. Woohoo! Look at these views, though.
I know, right? This place is gorgeous if I wasn't afraid of falling to my death constantly.
Yeah, falling to the top, back up the top.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
We can
There's a guy on my left.
Alright, I'll take the left.
He went nah. He started leaving. Whoa! Look at that! Do you see that down there?
What?
It looks
Oh
like a
my-
crab.
It does look like a crab. There we go.
Got him.
Nice. Looks like there's also another one of those skeletons. Ah, it's actively going towards you.
Don't worry.
Very smart. Very smart. Yum, 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 yum. Woo.
That one's down. Yum 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 yum. And that one's down.
Okay.
Here's an arrow back. Alright, we just gotta get this guy.
Alright.
Come on. Ow.
Ah!
Okay. Ow.
Hurt. Okay.
Ow. Ow.
Ow! How do we not get hit? Ah!
Be
Getting
careful.
tossed around like a
We're supposed to
potato.
approach that thing if it hits us like a freight train.
Ah! Let's see if
Oh,
this
I
works.
guess I can keep running at it. Here we go. Ah!
Okay, no, this isn't gonna work. I don't know how far the imagination stuff goes, but I can try something. Give me
Feel
a sec.
free. I'm not gonna
on.
heal this thing to death. Or dissipation,
Get
I
something
guess.
to- Come on, think. If I could just.
It's slowly approaching me. Think faster.
I know. I'm thinking.
It's slowly
I
approaching.
thought. Try now.
What? Oh, hey, that's not as bad.
Ah!
Well, it's worse than you hit me.
Here we go.
Alright. I can switch out.
Ow, it's back to
This-
hurting. It's back to hurting.
Oh,
Whoa, what the heck?
I just used one of the explosive.
Hey, you those things back a punch. Dang.
Yeah,
You look like you need healing.
I do. Thank you. You're so attentive. Coming here with like the healing train every 2 seconds. I love it.
This looks like the end.
Did we do it?
Only one way to find out, I guess. What?
Okay. Not planning on going on the last jump. Okay. Whew.
Check out that. There's nowhere else to go from here. What happens when we turn this?
I don't know.
Let's do it.
Right?
You press your hand against the final totem, which begins to glow powerfully in response. A massive surge of energy crashes around you, causing your hairs to stand on end as though you were statically charged. Lily shivers.
Whoa. Okay. That one I felt.
What was the biggest rush of magic ever? Rex says, brushing his hair down. Where the heck did it come from?
I don't know.
Congratulations! The voice returns loudly, echoing all around you. Holy crap! Maybe a little warning next time! You guys actually managed to make it through the Dreamscape. Color me impressed. Maybe you're not hopeless after all.
You thought we were hopeless?
Well, I meant more like, talk about no faith. Rex pouts and crosses his arms. Oh, don't give me that face! I was joking! Mostly. The voice clears through the throat. Anyways, now that you made it to the end, I guess I owe you, don't I?
You think?
Look, a deal's a deal, the voice murmurs. Your performance wasn't all that bad, and you made it all the way to the end. So, as promised, I'll answer a couple of your questions. But not too many. If I gave you all the answers, then what would be the point of your journey? Who are you? I'm a friend.
A friend who doesn't want to show their face?
What if I'm shy?
Based on that response, I doubt it.
Oh, come on. I mean, knowing who we were talking to would be nice. There's silence for a moment. All right. Fine. Give you a glimpse of my form, but you'd better promise not to freak out. I know how you traveler types are with new things. That's foreboding. Rex states before Lily elbows him in the side. Gah!
We promise. Now, please show yourself.
Another moment of silence. You ready? I'm gonna do it. I'm about to show myself.
Stop stalling already!
Ah, okay. Sorry, just let me. Wait a second. Something ain't right. What do you mean? I'm sensing darkness outside.
Wait, what?
Lily looks up towards the stars.
But our friends are outside.
Exactly. We're gonna have to put this talk on pause, travelers. Your friends need you. Oh man! Let's give us a name or something! Who are you? I told you already. The voice laughs as your vision starts to go white. I'm a friend.
So bright!
You both catch your breath, gasping as the light vanishes from your eyes, and you both breathe back in the familiar, fresh air of the outdoors. So that's alright! Sombra's voice sounds from your right. He seems panicked.
Watch out! On your left!
I see that! Hey, just keep coming! Huh? What's going on? You both rub your eyes as your surroundings begin to finally filter through your brain. A horde of monsters growls at you and your friends, inching closer. Vincent stands protectively in front of the entire group, putting in most of the work to cut down anything that threatens to pass him by. Solus seems to be injured, her tail tucked between her legs as she sits next to Somber. Aiden hides nearby, trying to help Vincent coordinate his attacks. He sees you first and beams.
Rex! Wiley!
Huh? Vincent glances back at you both. Finally, you're back! Somber shouts in relief.
Oh crap, that's a lot of monsters.
Oh, you don't say! Vincent replies sarcastically, cutting down another. I would have never guessed! It's like I've had to deal with them by myself for Unity knows how long! He twirls his rapier in his hand elegantly, continuing to fend them off. He's surprisingly nimble and light on his feet.
If it weren't for Prince Vincent, we'd probably been torn to pieces.
Wait, seriously? Yes, seriously! Vincent snaps, offended. Solus attempted to fight them off, but she was injured in the battle! Somber explains, tightly squeezing his sister's hand. We had no idea when you were to return, so we could not just abandon these ruins either! Speaking of which, you both certainly took your sweet time. Do you have any idea how long you've been gone? Despite the length of their absence, I find their return to be quite convenient!
The monsters must have been lured by all the light magic. Just like Arden warned us.
I don't care why they're here! Vincent grits his teeth. Now that you're back, you can make yourself useful and help get rid of them! Alright, let's go, Haley! However, just as Vincent cuts down another monster from the horde, and Rex and Lily stand to join him in defending the party, the ground begins to shudder. A large monster lumbers out from beyond the plains, trampling through flowers and tall grasses in its wake. Your eyes widen as you crane your necks up to stare at it. Okay, you're definitely helping me with this one.
You think?
Oh, it's big!
Yeah, tell me about it.
What is this? It's like a turtle!
Spiders too!
Oops! Okay, alright.
Alright, I got whatever this is, it's on me, and it's not leaving.
It is very, very big! Ow, 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 ow! Oh, let me quickly harvest a berry. I am back in the fight. Oh,
Yeah,
there's like chucked an explosive or something. Ow, 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 ow! Ow, ow, ow! There's spiders! They keep dropping down from the trees! Why are there spiders in these forests? Who could have expected this? Come on, there we go. You.
What?
It's so strong!
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
This is so difficult. Oh, I gotta clean it. It's like an oversized cow. Just look at it that way.
Yeah, like a really mean, angry.
The monster roars, tossing about large sticks and branches in a frenzy. Solus whimpers, covering her ears. Somber, it hurts. I know, Solus. Somber gulps. Don't worry, we'll be out of here soon. Then we may patch you up safely in Erwin. Rex pauses, looking down at his gauntlet as he stares at Solus's strife. His hand reaches into his focus pouch. Wait a second. He notices a third focus still present in his pouch. That spell from the Dreamscape's still there? Hang on. I think I know we can help Somber! Or Solus! Rex rushes to her side, before dropping to his knees and equipping the new focus. Carefully, he brings his hand up to her injury, and Solus and Somber watch in awe as the magic from the focus heals the wound. Ooh! The cat girl's eyes widen immediately, dilating at the scarlet glow. That's magnificent! Somber exclaims. When did you learn to use such a spell? As far as I can recall, you entered those doors with just 2 foci! I call it a reward. I didn't know we still had them, though. He looks back at the conflict beyond the rubble. That means... Dang! Miley! Miley grunts a bit as she and Vincent are knocked back from the creature.
You got any ideas on how to beat this thing, Rex?
Actually, I might! Try one of those arrows from the Dreamscape!
The arrows?
The Dreamscape? I still have my focus and it totally works! Rex points at the monster. So that means you can use your arrows to get an advantage against this big guy! Miley considers it, reaching into her quiver.
I can break down its defenses. Good thinking.
One of you elaborate! Vincent looks between Rex and Lily. Don't worry about the details! Just keep fighting!
Let's give this a shot. I'll try to weaken it.
Need healing?
Not particularly. Oh! There.
Nice! Don't worry, I'm coming through with some healing. What was that?
I don't like it though.
It's the earth! It's the grass! What the heck?
Earth is shaking me.
Dude, can you hit this guy with something big?
Ah! I can try something. I only have one of these arrows left.
Let me
though.
heal you up.
I don't want to miss this shot.
Take it! Woo! Yo! He went vertical! Ah! Come on, you know the old saying, the bigger they are,
The harder they fall.
yeah! Ow, 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 ow,
Ah!
ow.
I feel pretty hard and I'm relatively light.
Come on, take him down! Take him down!
I don't have any more of those explosives.
Oh wait, this
All I
guy
have
is
a
insanely
weakness.
strong.
Whew. He should be weakened again. Ah.
Come on.
Hey. Oh,
You pant, looking up at the creature as it continues to heave forward.
I don't think it's working.
Aiden's
You
teeth
think?
chatter in fear.
What do we do now?
We can't give up yet! Come on, let's just... However, before you can jump back into action, you notice the creature go rigid as a small explosion sounds behind it. Magic smoke wafts from behind the creature, and in an instant it slumps to the ground, collapsing onto its side. As the creature seems to dissipate into dark, inky smoke, a small group of masked individuals are revealed behind the creature, one of them with his arm extended.
Oh man, that could have gone bad. Good thing I was here to handle it.
A male's voice chuckles.
Wait a second. I know that voice.
Miley steps forward, her eyes widening in anger.
Fern?
Oh shoot!
Fern blinks from behind his mask.
What the heck? What are you people doing here?
Seven Weeks! Somber exclaims, jumping behind a rock again. Let me at him, Somber! Let me at him! Solus gives Fern and his team a feline hiss.
I could ask you the same thing. Let me guess. Looking to steal more treasure?
I told you before, we're not stealing. Just taking. For our own benefit. It's not the same thing!
Fern corrects her, putting his hands on his hips. However, he pauses when he notices the doors behind you slightly ajar, the glowing white void still swirling behind you.
Wait, you didn't open that thing, did you?
So what if we did? Way to give it away, Fixer. Definitely wasn't the most obvious answer in the world.
Wait, how did you manage that? We've been trying to get through that door for weeks now, and it didn't budge.
Fern explains, lowering his head.
What's your secret?
Lily smirks at him.
Wouldn't you like to know? What will you do if I don't tell you,
I'd think carefully about your next words. After all, I'm the one that just saved your butts from that monster.
What, do you want a medal?
No, but I do want whatever you got from beyond those doors.
In your dreams? I won't let you take anything from us.
I mean, I'm fine with doing this the hard way.
Fern shrugs his shoulders.
It's either that, or you tell me how you got through those doors. Or both. I'm not that picky.
Yeah, well, even if we did tell you, it wouldn't do you any good.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that you petty mask-wearing louts don't have the means to open those doors.
How's that possible? Also, did you call me a lout? I don't even know what that means.
Only Rex and Lily were able to open those doors! Therefore, you're out of luck, you treacherous Silverwings! Consider your plan successfully foiled!
Way to give us away, guys.
Is that right?
Some fun trying to get through those doors without us! Checkmate!
Fine then. I'll just have to take your loot as compensation.
Wait, what?
I mean, it's only fair, right? Hand them over.
As if we would ever.
However, before Lily can finish her statement, she reaches down to grab her quiver, only to find that the arrows once inside it are gone. She looks down toward her quiver.
Where did the arrows go?
Those the arrows? I still have my... Rex holds up his focus in confusion, only to find that the color and power have entirely drained from it. Wait, what?
Well, I'm waiting. Your loot. Hand it over.
About that.
Seriously? Ugh, gods, why do you people have to make every little thing so difficult?
Okay, well, even if we wanted to give you our stuff, it kind of stopped existing. Not that we would give them to you, but just to clarify that why we're not.
Loot doesn't just vanish into thin air.
Well, these ones do apparently.
Aiden frowns as he suddenly notices something. You hear him mutter under his breath.
That abundance of light magic is fading. If it was a beacon before, it's fizzling out. I guess all the magic dispersed once we completed the Dreamscape.
Okay, and that does it. If you're not going to comply, then I'll just have to take whatever you got by force.
I thought you said they weren't some common thief!
Yeah, well, you made me mad. So why don't we settle this?
Fine by me. Hang on, everyone stop. That's really not the way to go about this.
Who the heck are you supposed to be? And why are your eyes so... shiny? That's really weird, dude.
Comment was not necessary. Look, burn, was it? I don't know what happened to Rex or Lally, and I don't know what they found in there or what happened to it, but just think about this rationally for 1 second. That monster you defeated was just one of the many we've been fighting for some time out here. These monsters were drawn to the fountain of light magic that those doors were producing.
So what?
So, there may be more monsters where that one came from. It's in both of our interests to just walk away from this, alright? If it's money you want, I can give you mine, but...
Save it. I'm not after some random guy's money. What I want was after some good loot.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. It was sarcasm, by the way.
Yeah, I got that. But this isn't over.
He locks eyes with Lily.
Now that I know you're some kind of key to getting into those ruins, you're at the top of my hit list. Don't expect us to leave you alone, even for a second. We got a lot to pay you back for.
Good. I could always use a couple of warm-ups.
Lily cracks her knuckles.
Ugh. Don't do that. It's scary.
Okay, let's just all calm down and walk away.
Whatever. See you around, Lily. Come on, boys. We're leaving.
The Silverwings depart, leaving you and your party before the now empty doors. Aiden sighs in relief.
Oh, the light magic is gone. I don't feel it anymore.
Same here. But why do you think there would be more monsters?
Oh, I don't. But that guy didn't seem to feel the magic like us. So, I just made it up in the hopes he would go away. Well, it worked out. Good thinking. Let's report back to Arden and tell him what happened.
Alright. Let's go.
Yeah.
Man, I hope I didn't wait here all day.
Yeah. Hey.
You walk back into the same garden as before, slightly more weary now from your expedition. Somber and Solus look around excitedly behind you. Oh my god, this is fantastic! I don't believe I've ever set foot inside Hydra's castle until this day! This is a momentous occasion!
Look at all the pretty flowers! You think they'll be mad if I took one home? Oh, birdies!
I think Arden should be around here somewhere. Oh, there! Rex points toward one of the trees. Arden sits under the tree with a book in his hand, gracefully turning one of the pages. He glances up as you all approach. Welcome back, everyone. It's nice to see you two again, Solus and Somber.
The pleasure is all ours, Mr. Valorant of Unity, sir!
Somber instantly salutes respectfully. Solus glances at him in confusion before copying his pose, saluting as well.
Wait, you two knew Arden was a Star Seeker the whole time?
Why'd you say anything in the mines? My apologies! I thought you were already aware!
Somber frowns at you both.
Otherwise, why would you be traveling with him?
It's alright, Somber. No need to be so formal. I didn't tell Rex for that exact reason. I much prefer that people be themselves instead of the over-the-top formalities.
Understood!
So, how did your quest go? Pretty good, but we don't really understand what happened. You carefully explain to Arden what happened in the Dreamscape. He listens to your tale quietly, making occasional small nods as you continue. I see. So that's what it's called. The Dreamscape.
Wait, what? You know about the stuff behind the doors?
Admittedly, yes. Before you arrived in Arrowwood, I visited one for myself to investigate the abnormal light magic. The door did open for me, and I saw the same floating platforms in the endless starry void. However, I never heard of any kind of voice when I entered. He brings his hand to his chin. I suppose there are no doubts about it, then. About what? You are the key to uncovering the secrets behind the awakening. If you're able to open the doors, as I predicted, then that means those with blessed afterlights are given access to those dreamscapes. Furthermore, if this voice recognized you and even anticipated your arrival, then that proves that there is something or someone who could know more than us, or even be behind it all.
And who could that be?
I do not know. But aren't you the Valorant of Unity? Yes, but I'm not Unity herself. She works in mysterious ways. Even I cannot fathom how she functions. But perhaps we can uncover more answers in more of these dreamscapes. Additionally, you may be able to uncover more powers and abilities, such as the focus and the tipped arrows you spoke of. Yeah, good point. Guess that means we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for more dreamscape entrances. I'm sure you won't have too many troubles, Arden states before putting his hands behind his back. By the looks of it, you already have quite the party of friends behind you. Speak for yourselves. I'm hardly your friend. I believe it would do you well to find companionship in the travelers, young prince. Arden smiles at him. What would do me well is you and the rest of your council taking me seriously. The only reason I had the opportunity to go on this quest was because I sought it out for myself. I'm not incapable. It would do you well to not underestimate me. These missions are serious business. Your brother, as well as the rest of the council, believe it is in your best interest to hell with my brother. I can take care of myself. I don't need you or the other members of Nox Requitor deciding what's best for me. You know, he's got a point. Wait, what? Vincent looks back at you in surprise. He really can hold his own. When we were in that dreamscape, he was the one who defended our team from a bunch of monsters that came after us. Wait, don't get me wrong. Guy's a jerk. But credit where credit's due. Vincent's shoulders sag as he stares at Rex, utterly bewildered. I shall take that into consideration then. Arden nods his head.
Look at you two, turning over a new leaf.
We are not! Vincent and Rex both say at the same time. Before you go, then, Arden clears his throat. I believe I have one last thing to give you. He reaches into his pocket, withdrawing a couple of pristine silver coins. He drops some of these coins into each of your hands. Sombra and Solus begin to shudder with excitement.
Oh gods, I think they're gonna.
Absolutely extraordinary! I don't believe I've ever received a real silver coin as payment in all my years of being in the city of Erwin! This is unbelievable!
Deep breaths, you two. Vincent scoffs, shoving the coins into Rex's hand and rolling his eyes. Whatever. I have no need for monetary compensation. I believe I've made my point.
We must return to Gilstrider's Guilty Hole immediately! Arthur will not believe this! He almost fainted from our last story!
Maybe don't brag about that.
Farewell all! Come along, Solus!
And there they go. Poor Arthur.
As I've said before, you certainly have quite the interesting friends, Rex. Arden leans down to murmur to him. Just remember, if you ever need assistance navigating this world as new arrivals, you have a friend in a high place, too. He winks. Thanks, Arden.
I guess that finishes up the quest. I should probably head back out and get back to Zaid, as well as figure out how to use these coins to fix up the Hunters Association.
Yeah, Alice probably thinks I got arrested again for going to the castle. Oh, she'll be thrilled to see this paycheck, though.
Rex looks down at the silver in his hand.
I'll see you around then.
Have a good night, Lily. Rex waves to her. As Lily starts to walk toward the exit of the castle, Aiden follows. Arden remains under the tree, watching you all go. Vincent hesitates, but doesn't meet Rex's eyes as he glances in his direction.
Bye.
See you later.
Mm-hmm.
Big stretch. Alrighty. Just gotta make our way out now. Wait a minute, Fixer! You glance back in surprise as Vincent jogs over to you. Vincent? He pants, placing his hands on his knees. You're trying to slip away, thinking that I wouldn't notice, huh? Not really. I'm just heading home. The quest is over, man. He fixes his hair and crosses his arms. Yeah, well, I still have some things to say. Okay? You both just blink at one another. Are you gonna talk or... Look! I'll admit that you're not nearly as useless as I thought you were. At least compared to some of the other people in our party, you knew how to put up a fight. I guess I could say the same about you. You single-handedly protected everyone while Lily and I were gone. That's... okay, you admit stubbornly. What kind of prince would I be if I didn't know basic self-defense? He scoffs. Do you really think my rapier was just for show? Do you really want me to answer that question? No. Yeah, that's what I thought. The point I'm trying to make is that you clearly have no intention of slowing down. Based on your conversation with the Valiant of Unity, I can only assume you're going to keep searching for these dreamscapes. And since you, for some reason, have the ability to open them, you'll keep getting blessings or advantages or whatever it is you got in there. So I'll just have to work twice as hard to surpass you. My path going forward has never been more clear to me. Just because I went along with you on that quest doesn't mean we're friends or even allies. I will prove to you that I'm superior one way or another. Well, everyone needs an ambition. You can give it your best shot. My best shot will be victory, he vows. Sure, man. See you around. Whatever. And stay out of my house! No! Stones on that guy. He can't hold himself up in a fight. I'll just have to work even harder then. I'm not gonna let him show me up. Let's see what tomorrow brings.
So it was those two that are finally on the right track. Took them long enough. But they made it! They actually made it! Oh, this is gonna be so good!